Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Ginger and Spice podcast. I've got cat hair all over me. So, in all honesty, I don't really know how to introduce this theme because I can't even say so. The last 2 weeks we've been reading Daddy because we read these Daddy books what feels like
miles
about
ago.
50 years ago.
Yeah, I think we gained a week somehow, which was
So,
nice for us.
I think it was because we changed the podcast schedule, so we ended up changing the posting of the podcast to be 1 week Zodiac Academy, 1 week wrap up. So we ended up like gaining a week. So we're like, right, the next theme is Daddy. So we got all of our Daddy books, and then I almost like panic read the Daddy books, and then for some reason we just ended up
with extra
so
time.
far ahead.
Alchemized has also taken over a lot of our life right now.
Yeah.
So, and that's taken me about 2 weeks to read. So really, I'm probably back on time. Like I'm probably back in line with where we need to be.
I said this the other day, didn't I? If we weren't reading Alchemized, we would be so far ahead.
I know.
So we've got a cocktail, and it is by far the strongest cocktail you've probably ever seen.
I mean, shit me. I can taste everything that's in this, like tenfold.
Yeah.
It's a lot. It's Cointreau Cocktail Twist, Berry Cosmo.
Comes in little gold bottles from Waitrose.
Because we're fancy, apparently.
Not an ad. I wish. Anyway, so if you want to talk us through the Daddy books that we did read 65 years ago,
Absolutely.
And then we'll rattle through them as we do usually.
So I'll do them in order of how we're going to talk about them. So we've got Mountain Daddy by S.J. Tilley. We have Domination by B.J. Alpha. I have so much to say about that one.
Yeah.
We have got The Wild by K. Webster. I have not a lot to say about that one. And Take My Daddy, I'll Take Yours by Jenika Snow.
Don't know.
I have nothing to say about that one.
I've got nothing to say about that one. So that's the one we're going to leave to last because neither of us has anything to say about it, really.
Okay, let's start with Mountain Daddy by S.J. Tilley.
Yeah, I actually really enjoyed this one.
I had a great time.
So the cover of this book, I'll put a picture on the screen now. It's actually very misleading because I went into this thinking, given the name and, like I said, the cover, it was going to be kind of filthy, to be honest. Like, I was fully prepared for, like, some next level smut. Like, I was prepared for, like, Domination level smut.
Right.
And, again, the cover and the name. It's literally called Mountain Daddy. And what I didn't expect was for it to be some really cute, lovely, almost small town romance.
It was absolutely adorable and I fucking loved it.
I absolutely loved it.
I ate it up hard and fast.
Yeah, they were just great. So before Tia gets into the rundown, I immersive read this, so I eyeball and listened at the same time. Had a brilliant time. 11 out of 10 would recommend. The main characters are Kendra and Luther, and Kendra is 32 and Luther is 56. So this was actually probably at the higher range of ages, and also the age gap, as in they were both older, but it was still age gap. So it wasn't like 18 and 50 odd, which we'll fucking get to in a minute with Domination.
Yep.
It was 32 and 56. So that was nice. That was a welcome change. And it was just nice, actually, I felt, to read about like people finding love older as opposed to younger.
Do you know what? Like, the thing with him as well is that he wasn't older. Like, he wasn't like the older guy. He was cool as fuck. He was built. He was muscly. He owned a bar.
Yeah.
He liked to do all like the normal things. And I fucking loved him.
Yeah. I had a really
and
good
his
time.
voice in the audiobook.
Oh my God, yeah. His voice in the audio was insane. Okay, so talking about that, it's duet narration in the audiobook.
Banging.
I can't remember how long it was, but physical read, it's about 450-ish pages, I think.
Yeah.
So it wasn't short, but it wasn't really long. It's Dad's best friend, age gap. There is a daddy kink.
Yeah, there is.
Obviously.
Yeah.
And there is a crawl to me in this one as well.
I fucking love that shit. Live for it. So we started with Kendra found out that her flatmate had been basically taking all of her money. So she was like, well, fuck, I've got no money and I've got nowhere to live. So the dad was like, it's fine. Come and move with me up in the mountains. She was like, do I want to move in with my dad when I'm this age? She was like, fuck it, I've got no choice. So she goes to do it. But this night before she's going to move in with her dad, she decides she's going to stay at a little motel, which has got a lovely bar attached to it. And she's going to have a night of freedom. So she walks into said bar. She clocks eyes with Mr. Handsome Luther that is at the bar. Older, like we said, 56. Tasty. And she was like, do I sit next to him or do I sit at the end of the bar, like with some other people? And he kind of looked at her and she was like, fuck it, I'm going for it. So she goes over to him. They end up having shots. They have beers. They have loads of chats. They're kind of rubbing each other's legs.
Bit of
And
flirt,
it's all very flirty.
flirting, yeah.
He's like trying to have a burger. And she's like a bit of a bigger girl, isn't she? So she's like, oh, like the fact that like the whole eating thing in front of each other and the drinking and all that. She's into it. She's down. And then she decides to go back to her room. She grabs the spare key and she goes back over to him at the bar and she gives it to him. And it's like, I'm in room, come and join me. So she goes back to the room and then he's kind of like, oh, what do I do? What do I do? He goes to the toilet, has a little freshen up, goes straight to the room. And of course they have some very tasty sexual things. And it's all delightful. And then the next morning they have a little smooch. And then they go their separate ways. She's told him she's just driving through, and he's told her that he
gave her a different name or something, didn't he? He gave, because his last name is Luther.
So he owned...
No, his first name is Luther, but everybody calls him. What did the dad call him?
They call him by his last name, which I don't have written down.
Yeah, so that's right, because the sister who worked in the bar, when she heard him say Luther to her, she was a bit like.
And even the guy that made them the burgers, he came out and there was like, who the fuck is Luther?
Yeah. So obviously she didn't know what was about to transpire because the name that he had given her is not the name that he is widely known as.
So he didn't tell her that he owns this bar that they were in either. So it was all very hush-hush. Either of them were. She's then gone to her dad's house, which is 20 minutes away from this motel. And she's settling in. It's all lovely. And then, of course, the dad's got his best mate coming around because they're going to go fishing. And, of course, it's Luther. And she's like, oh, fucking hell. Look who's turned up. And then it all progresses from there. And it's all very fucking lovely. And they take each other's numbers and it's all very secret. And they don't tell the dad until the very end.
Yeah.
And it was just really delightful.
He's like creeping in and out for a window. They've got like wings in the house. It's really quite big. So he can kind of like get in and out without being kind of like heard or anything. But obviously the front door is like more in like the main part of the house. So he doesn't risk going that way. He just creeps in and out of a window. And they do say in the book about like kind of acting like they're teenagers in that way. And it was actually really sweet. Like, because it was like they were like falling in love and sneaking around as if they were like teenagers. But obviously they're all older. It was just so sweet.
So I love the fact that, like you just said, they were like kids with all this like sort of hiding around and all this secret stuff. But there was no miscommunication issues, which if there's miscommunication, I'm not having any of it. And I just really liked their adult relationship, but with everyone. So, like you had the dad with his sister. They obviously had something going on. Luther's daughter was in it as well, and she was at university, and she was really friendly about the situation. Because like how sometimes daughters can be a bit weird if it's like the same age kind of situation. But she loved it. She was like, "Go on, Dad, you get in there and all this," and she was like helping the whole situation out. And it was just really lovely. Like everything about it was cutesy as shit. And I loved it.
So it actually wasn't even that smutty, to be fair. Like there was spice in this, but like I said, I went into it initially thinking it was going to be filled with spice.
Yeah.
And thinking that like the spice was going to be like fucking insane. So he did have a dirty mouth. Like he did have a filthy mouth. I can't lie. So when they did get it on, he was filthy. We did utilize all of the holes in this book as well.
We did indeed, yes.
So like I said, it wasn't as smutty or spicy as I thought it was going to be, but it was still spicy. And when it hit, it was very, very good. And he was really quite dominant as well. Like he had quite a few phrases where it was just like quick one-liners that just asserted the dominance.
Yeah.
So it was things like undress me, and that was it. He also said, now start, leave them on. But it was just like straight to the point sentences. So he really did assert his dominance in that.
He was very nice
in that way. Yeah,
he was very,
very
very
great.
Nice.
Talking about the fact that they're older and there's like no miscommunication and stuff like that, I actually do have a note saying about how their conversations and open discussions around children and whether they're needed to fulfill life and the importance of a man directly asking his partner her expectations. It was a breath of fresh air and also so very important.
Yeah.
And it was actually really nice. Now I'm not big on like the pregnancy trope at all. I'm not very big on like talk of children in these books. I know, like, I'm fine with it. Like, I can absolutely read about it, but if I know it going into it, it will put me off a little bit.
Yeah.
However, I do tend to usually enjoy it. There is no actual pregnancy trope in this. However, obviously there was the talk of the children, and there was a reason that was a talking point, and it was because she couldn't have children. That's not really a spoiler, in all honesty. It's a theme throughout the book. And yeah, they just have like really open discussions about it. And I think there was some level, a tiny bit of miscommunication, that they did end up talking out very quickly, where he assumed that she would want children.
Yeah.
But he never bothered asking her. And
Yeah.
that's how we led to them communicating about it, and then having the discussion of why it's important to just ask what your expectations are from the get-go. Yeah, I did enjoy that aspect to it. Again, it kind of all pulls around to the fact that they're older and having more adult conversations. Honestly, this book turned out to be something I just really didn't expect.
Yeah.
I really went on a journey with this. I was like, that was actually really fucking good. Bloody hell.
What was your favourite scene?
I don't have a favourite scene written down.
My favourite scene is genuinely when they first meet and they're at the bar and they're having drinks and stuff. Because I just thought it wasn't even that there was tension. It was just that, you know, that like sort of meet cute situation of you being somewhere and then meeting a guy that is also there and you having that cute sort of connection and you don't really know what to do. Like, are you going to kiss? Are you going to hold hands? Are you going to sleep with each other? Like, just that whole thing. I was like, oh, you too.
Yeah, that was. And then when they spent the night together, that was saucy and hot. And that is at the very start of the book. So actually you go into this book thinking that there probably is going to be quite a lot of spice, even after you read the start, because obviously it starts with them getting it on.
Yeah.
So you kind of go, oh God, this is actually going to be spicy. But then, like, you have that scene and then it's basically then about how they meet cute again after.
Are gonna get together to do it, because it wasn't long from when he turned back up at the house that they both decided, we're definitely gonna sleep with each other.
I do want to see you again.
Yeah.
Oh, I've got a scene actually when they went into the garage and the little storeroom cupboard thing.
So her dad had a barbecue, and obviously he was invited, and obviously she was there because she's living there, and but it was like loads of people there, and she was trying to make him jealous because she was talking to this other guy like in front of him, and he was like, get inside now, and she was like, no, what if I don't want to? And he was like, you've got 2 minutes to get inside. And then he kind of drags her to the garage, and then there's like the laundry room inside the garage, and then he just bends her over. I just had the time of my life.
Yeah. There was no lock on this like laundry room, and then someone came in because the beer fridge is in the garage, and then someone came in before, like, so they just finished, I think, or they were just about to, and someone came into the garage, and obviously, like I said, there's no lock on the laundry room, so they were both a bit like, oh my God. So they came in and they like fumbled around getting beers and stuff out of the fridge, and then they left the garage again. So then the two of them kind of like quickly came out of the laundry room, went over to the fridge, like bundled themselves up with loads of beers, and then kind of had to go back out and hope that they weren't kind of like caught coming out with there. But it was just really good. Yeah, they were just like kind of like running around with each other like teenagers.
It was really
cute.
I thought it was great.
I would recommend. I think we both were doing the audio for it.
Yeah,
100%.
Because that guy's voice.
Yeah. And of course, before we do ratings, the last thing I will say is he is obviously a daddy. It is called Mountain Daddy for a reason. They're in the Colorado mountains. He's obviously like, think plaid shirts, worn jeans, like chunky rigger boots. Do you know what I mean? Like just a man. And he's described as being like slightly graying. So he's still got hair. So he's like slightly graying, got a slightly graying beard. He's like more muscular. He's got abs, by the way, and he's got like a
abs,
bit
not flabs.
She says that he's got a hairy chest, but it's not too hairy.
Oh,
it's like a little bit grey, you know, where it's just like just a bit, just the right amount. Anyway, I found that important enough to write down.
I like it. And all of his mates say he's like the best looking person as well, don't they?
Yeah.
I want to get to know him.
Yeah.
On a deeper level.
So should we do ratings and chili peppers?
Absolutely, we should.
So what did you give the stars?
So I gave it 5 for stars, and I gave it 3.5 for chili peppers.
Oh my God, you gave it a 5.
I did give it a 5. Honestly, I fucking lapped it up. I couldn't get enough of it.
Oh, wow.
And I probably did give it an extra 0.5 for the audio.
Yeah, that's fair.
Because the audio was just...
So I gave this 4.5 stars, and I gave it 3.5 chili peppers.
Chiles.
Yeah, it was really great. It was actually turned out to be the perfect amount of spice for the book.
Yeah.
and the type of spice it was great all round, really well written, really well paced. Like, I just loved it. And yeah, I agree with the audio. It definitely gets an extra 0.5. Okay, what should we go into now?
We've got to go into Domination because I can't not.
Do you want to take us into this one, seeing as you're so excited about it?
I'm more excited about this because I can't wait to see what you say about it more than what I have to say about it, because I know how much you really fucking loved it. Anyway, so this one is Domination by B.J. Alpha. It's a 37-year age gap, forbidden, forced proximity, mafia, good girl, possessive, jealous, with a pet name. The kinks include, and this is not limited to, this is just the ones that I wrote down. We've got bondage, breeding, collared, degradation, double pen with his own modelled pee-pee, obviously, lactation, water sports, spanking, and squirting. I would probably say that is about half of what was in this whole book.
Yeah.
Because there was so much more.
And obviously the daddy kink.
Yeah. Yeah. Shall I give a rundown first before you then let loose on this?
Sure.
Because I can see your face and I feel like let's just get you to understand what's going on before you then come in and start throwing things. Okay, well, I'll start with just saying that Vinny is 57 and Gracie is 20. So
she was 18 when he slept with her, and she was 19 when she came back.
Yeah. Oh, right. So she turned 20 when she was with him properly. So
but he took her virginity when she was 18 years old.
Now, the story behind this is, so he's a mafia don. He's big in the game. So he was having a party at his house and he just clocked her from across the room. He called her his little pet. He liked the fact that she was a little bit younger and he could probably dominate the shit out of her. She genuinely did seem like she liked the idea of being with him.
Mm-hmm.
But the first scenes in this did happen pretty fucking quickly. So It was literally, he saw her, he took her to a room. They ended up moving to different rooms and then he took her virginity. And that was the end of that. They both fell asleep. He woke up and she wasn't there. He was like, where is my pet gone? Because he was trying to get her to sign a contract to say that she would stay to be his pet. She's disappeared. He didn't know where she went. He kind of left it. 18 months later, his stepson turns up, says, I've got to go to rehab because I've got big problems. But can you look after my daughter and her daughter while I go to rehab? He was like, yeah, I'll do whatever you need me to do. So, of course, Gracie turns up with her now daughter. That is clearly his. I'm not saying that as a spoiler because I got that as soon as she walked through the fucking door.
Everyone got that.
Besides him, he was like, she's with some jumped up guy. She slept with me and then she got with some jumped up guy 2 days later and got pregnant.
Yeah.
I was like, well, that's obviously not what happened. And I mean, I can see this coming a mile away. Anyway, she moves in. He kind of coaxes her into bed again, gets the contract out. She signs it. She's now his pet. And the whole book is basically them doing it until he breeds the shit out of her, whilst he does a few little mafia bits on the side.
Yeah, so he actually, the reason that he liked her being a bit younger and is because she was probably like, she's a bit more cutesy, a bit more pliant, a bit more like she's more submissive, but she has the personality that allows him to care for someone, something he's not been able to do. So although it may sound, I guess to some degree, a little bit creepy, in all fairness, it didn't feel that way when reading it. He really is a man that actually wants to care for people, but because he's like a mafia don or whatever, like he just has to be like this hard nut all the time. So he enjoys the person he is when he's with her, the person that she allows him to be, which is to really look after her, like buy her things, spend money on her, take care of her, like the aftercare after they're doing it.
Yeah, he loves
after
that.
He dominates her,
really
he loves the
that.
aftercare because he just wants to look after her.
I know that you hated it because of what they were doing, but in some places it was kind of like, oh, that is quite cute.
So I didn't hate it. What I disliked wasn't just because of like what they were doing, so like the kinks and stuff. Like it's fine that like I would never kink shame anyone. Like you're into what you're into, that's absolutely fine. But obviously, like, a lot of the kinks were not my vibe, so it made it difficult to connect. And it wasn't like I was reading about these kinks in sort of like an informative way, like we did in The Secret Club and The Secret Job.
Yeah.
There were some kinks in that really were not my vibe. However, I still enjoyed reading about it because of the way it was written and the way it was presented to me, the plot in which it was, or the scene in which it was presented to me as well. However, in this, even the kinks that I didn't like the way in which they were being presented to me either. I didn't really like the way it was written. I don't like how he just jumped straight in so fast, like insta-lovey. I even have a note that says, I nearly DNF'd it in the first 100 pages. I really struggled to get through it. I didn't like the writing. Again, no offense to the author, like none. It just wasn't for me. And if you compare Vinny, for example, who's 55, to Luther, who was 56 in the previous book that we just talked about, they are like polar opposites.
Way opposite, yeah.
But yet both of them hella spicy and had their own kinks. Like there is ways to write things. I mean, it wasn't my vibe. I do agree though on there were some parts that were really cute, and I did like that he was like connecting with the baby that again was so fucking clearly his own.
Him not realizing that that's his daughter. Then it starts with him wanting to breed her. Then it carries on to him getting her the pill,
but
that's not the
actually
pill.
Getting her the pill.
And then he just continues to breed her and tells her that he's breeding her. And she's like, yeah, but you're not breeding me because I've got the pill. And it's like, we all know where this is going.
Yeah. And the thing I disliked the most, like the lactation thing, I can get on board with. Cool, you want to suck milk out of her tatas whilst she's riding you, whatever gets you rocks off, son. But when he started pissing in her mouth and on her,
yes, that did happen. She asked for it, if anything. She was in the shower and she just got to her knees and she was like,
yeah, she was. She literally
open
was.
for him.
Because she knew that that's what he really wanted and he was holding that back from her. Quite rightly so.
Yeah.
One should not be pissed on. But you know, you do you. That's the thing.
I love it.
Just don't tell me about it.
No. I don't want to know.
No.
Was that this book where he pissed inside her and then jammed it back in? Or is that something else we've read? That was this, wasn't it?
Oh, no, it's actually... He pissed in her mouth. What was the one where he made her swallow it? Was it this one?
No, but I remember what you're talking about. I don't think that was
No,
one.
that was The Secret Job.
Yes, it was.
He made her swallow it. He would come in and piss in her mouth.
What's where he pissed inside her and then fucked her at the same time?
Was that this one?
Or was that The Secret Job as well?
There's too much pissing.
There's so much water sports in the last fucking 2 weeks.
Yeah, so much
too
water
much
sports. And actually, let's talk about that really quickly, the difference in that then, because there was water sports in The Secret Job by Ruby Sky.
Yep.
Which is book 2 in the Clarendon Playmates series. And I did not get the ick with that. Like, I was reading and I was like, yeah, this is not my thing, but cool. And I kept reading, you know, and it was actually, there was one point where she was being pissed on by a fucking lot of people, let me tell you.
It was that. It was in and around her area.
Yeah. And she, like, being peed on in all of her holes.
By 15 men.
Over all of her entire body.
Yeah.
And that sounds absolutely terrible. I am aware. It sounds disgusting to anyone who does not have a water sports kink. However, it was fine to read. It was actually very enjoyable.
Genuine favourite scene in that fucking book.
It was absolutely insane.
The scene with the 15 men.
And her head in a box.
And they all fucked her and they all pissed on her. And do you know what? Ruby's writing is so fucking classy that she can get away with fucking anything.
Yeah.
That's why this book, Domination, was so different with the water sports, because it was kind of like...
And when he was doing it, it felt like it was being done to intentionally to degrade her, but not in a kink kind of way. It felt like he was... I want to say he felt like he was pissing on her, but it literally had the effect that you would think pissing on someone has. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That it's really degrading. It makes you feel this big, and I didn't like it. And like I said, especially considering I had The Secret Job to compare it to, reading about the same kink, 2 extremes of the same kink. You had 15 men pissing on this woman whose head was stuck in a box and she was knelt on a sofa, basically. And then this girl who willingly, obviously, kind of asked for it and sat on her knees, and it went in her mouth. And two very extremes, but I enjoyed the 15 men one.
Yeah.
And it just shows how important it is to write scenes like that in a certain kind of way. I mean, if it was for you, great, and you enjoyed the book, I'm happy for you. Whoop whoop. But I did not.
Let's go into ratings.
Yeah, sure. You liked it though. So let's do ratings.
Yeah.
And then do you want to talk about your favourite scenes after?
I have got a favourite scene.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
So what did you give it stars?
For the stars, I gave it a 4. And for spice, I gave it a 5.
So for stars, I gave this 2.5 to 3. And I feel like 3 is too generous, if I'm honest. But somewhere in between, I reckon. And I don't mean that in a mean way. Like, I'm not hate rating it. I'm being genuinely serious. Like, I don't feel like... If I gave it a 3, I feel like that would be... Because a 3 is sort of my mid-range books where I'm like, it was all right. Probably wouldn't read it again. But I don't even feel like, it was all right. I feel like I never want that. I never want to grace that thing with my eyeballs again.
Well, that has made my day.
So 2.5,
Right.
maybe edging towards a 3 because of the cute baby Bon.
Okay.
And I gave it 5 chilies.
I mean, yeah.
So I believe you have a favourite scene. I have none.
I do. I actually really enjoyed this scene. Okay, so this scene, he's doing all his mafia shit. So he's got someone hogtied in his basement. And he messages her and is like, can you send me a naked picture of you in my office on the table right now? She's like, she's like flitting around. He's like, do it now! She sends the naked picture and he starts playing with himself on top of the guy until he finishes on the guy, and then he pisses all over the guy afterwards.
Oh, yeah.
And I thought, yeah, fair play, mate.
Okay.
It's the mafia way, isn't it?
Yeah.
Mafia's got to do what mafia's got to do.
Sure. Even though the guy was dead, and there was no one around to...
He wasn't that dead. He was nearly dead.
I don't know what's worse.
I thought it was a laugh, but that's just me not taking this too seriously.
I just didn't like it from the very beginning. Actually, to be fair, I read like nearly 100 pages and I was like, I don't know if I can carry on now. I might have to DNF this. And I was like, look, let me just put it down. I'll go make a wine. And I came back. And I'm not going to lie, it was definitely easier reading it with a wine.
To be fair,
lot fucking easier.
I had the wine from the start. So I think that's
probably
why,
what I should have done.
Yeah, I think that's why I was like, oh, okay, well, this is...
Sure.
I
am glad I read it because it is, regardless of whether I enjoyed it or not, it was actually like, it's one of those books that I will remember. Even if
I'm
it
not
was for
forgetting
not
that in a
good
hurry.
reasons.
The amount of spice that was in it, you can't forget. Especially because, we learnt a lot.
Oh, yeah, so much. And I'll definitely recommend it to people. It's not where I'll be like, I'll never recommend this to anyone. If someone came to me and says, I want a batshit crazy age gap that's so super spicy, really pushes the boundaries, I'll be like, this one. Okay, what are we doing now? The Wild?
Yeah.
Are we going to rattle through the last 2?
Yeah, because I don't have a lot of nice things to say about this one.
So I actually enjoyed this one. Sort of.
Sort of.
Yeah, so we've got 2 books left to do, and we're going to quickly run through these ones, not as lengthy as we did the last 2. So we'll probably just do like a rundown, our overall thoughts, maybe a favourite scene, talk about it briefly, ratings, and then we'll move on to the next one.
I'll be surprised if I have enough notes for all of those things.
So we've got The Wild by K. Webster, and we've got You Take My Dad, I'll Take Yours. So let's start with The Wild. This is a shorter book. It's 220-ish pages, so it's not really that long. This book you can only buy, I think you can only get it on her website. You might be able to get it on that Eden book.
Is it Eden? Yeah.
But you might be able to get it on there. They're usually quite reliable for these kind of banned books. So this is Dad and Daughter. Or is it? I am going to say that regardless of my rating of this book and what we may say today, I actually did go back onto her website and I bought the rest of the series.
So I bought book 1 and 2 because it was joint, and I probably won't proceed to read the second book just because I didn't enjoy it enough, and I don't really like where it's going now. It's a happily ever after. That's really great. They're having kids, and I just feel like I don't know how it's going to progress into something that's very exciting.
So
So the next book,
So the next book is the sister of the inbred family that violated her.
Is it?
The one that they left, and about the guy that sold them the land.
Shut up.
Yeah.
So it's not about them. It's not
No.
about them two. Okay.
And then books further down the line are about all of their children.
Okay, I take it back. I'm gonna have to read it.
Yeah. Anyway, so like I said, this is dad and daughter, or is it? It was definitely something. I'll give you that.
It was fucking touch and go. That. Do you know what? There was bits where I was kind of like, I do not mind where this is going, and then there were bits where I was like, I'm not comfortable here.
Yeah, there was a lot of phrases where even I was like, okay. That's enough reading for today.
Yeah, I put it down a few times because I was like, I'm getting a little bit too, like when you kind of think, you overthink it.
Yeah.
I overthought it too many times.
There was a lot of overthinkage. Definitely. But it didn't take much to overthink because sometimes they thrust it in your face. The author really thrust it in your face that they were dad and daughter. Anyway, I wanted to take some quotes down that I didn't particularly enjoy, the ones that were really pushing the boundaries, but I don't think I'd be allowed to say them. And I definitely can't say them on social media.
I'll do a quick rundown, but obviously I can only say what I can say.
Yeah.
Peace.
Just before you do the rundown, I will say a lot of these kind of like taboo books where they're related are usually really quite dark. And although this was dark, it's definitely not the darkest book we've ever read by any stretch at all. It was just hella taboo. Like, it was hella taboo.
It was the spice in this that really, really drove it home.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have Reed and Sabrina, and they have twin son and daughter. The son unfortunately passes away, so they are left with Devon.
Can I just say quickly, the son died of a snake bite.
Yeah.
Why a snake bite? Why couldn't it have just been like a hit and run when he was coming home from school or something? Do you know what I mean? Why did it have to be so ridiculous like a snake bite? That annoyed me at the start, actually.
Is what it is.
Yeah.
So they're left with Devon. So we are then 6 years later. Reed decides that he's going to sell his business and they are going to move to Alaska, into the mountains, and live a new life off the land, which they're all up for. Really great. The only thing with Sabrina is that she is really devastated by the fact that she lost her son, and she sleeps a lot, doesn't really get about, doesn't want to do anything, actually doesn't really have a lot of communication with Devon at all.
Yeah, she's fully depressed.
Yeah,
isn't she?
Full depressed. So it is kind of Reed and Devon that do things together a lot. So when they move to the mountains, they're in this trailer, and Reed and Sabrina do some spicy things that Devon overhears, and Devon gets very confused by what it is that she now wants in life in terms of her dad. And
was
then
very diplomatic the way you just...
Well, you've got to think about how you're going to say these things, haven't you?
Yeah.
I'm not going to be like, oh, she wants to fuck her dad now.
I mean, you just did so.
Yeah. Basically, that's it.
So, like, the mum is so depressed, and the dad, Reed, is desperately trying to connect to her. Like, he does love his wife, and he loves his family that he has, and he loves his daughter as a daughter. Like, he loves his family, and he desperately wants his wife's attention again, but she's so wrapped up in her depression and her misery, and in an attempt to kind of like still string him along, she allows him to slip inside every now and again, and that is quite literally it. She just lays there like a dead fish, basically. On the odd occasion, she might make a little noise, a little tiny noise, but usually he gets nothing out of her.
No,
and he like angry does it.
It's it's their thing that he does it every time she gets into one of these episodes.
Yeah.
That's the way to get her out of it, but it's not really getting her out of it. It's just their thing.
Yeah.
And then because they're in this trailer, Devon then hears everything that they're doing, and he will like finish and then walk out of the room, and Devon's kind of just laying there like, or she's like making dinner or doing something, and he's kind of like, oh, sorry you heard that, and like, and all this stuff. And it just, like that, it was so fucking cringy.
Yeah.
I was literally trying to tear my own hair out because I was like, that's not great. And then it got to the point where there was a storm and the trailer falls off a cliff. The mum passes away because she's in a tree. And that was
horrific.
That it was horrendous.
So they couldn't find her. So
Yeah.
the trailer ends up tumbling down this gorge. Now the land that they've bought is actually down in the gorge, but you can't just like get down the gorge in like a car or whatever. You have to like maneuver your way down there and walk down. And his plan, Reed's plan, was he took all these tools and building materials in this massive sort of like Winnebago type situation. And he was going to slowly build them a house on this land that he bought. Anyway, they end up tumbling down into this gorge, and then the trailer's upside down and all this stuff, and then the two of them, you know, they're alive, and then they can't find the mum, and then eventually they find the mum. And I'm not joking, spoiler, I was gonna say spoiler, not spoiler, but spoiler, the mum is hanging from a tree with like missing limbs. They're like snapped and all over the place. It was actually horrific. It was horrific the way that scene was described. I was like, holy shit. And then they try and get her down by like lifting her up, and I was just like, oh my god, leave her. And then they end up living in like a little tent. So they start slowly pulling things out of the trailer. So they pull the tent out and like some of the camping gear, don't they? And then they basically just like live in this little tent for ages while he just slowly builds them a cabin, which is realistically, that's probably not going to be possible in Alaska, but sure.
I mean,
he built a whole cabin, used like metal from the trailer and all this kind of stuff. And obviously he did have like some building supplies and whatnot. And I imagine it really was just a tiny cabin. It was probably just like one room, but they ended up having like a little little fireplace and bed and all that kind of stuff.
It really progressed into something that I didn't enjoy.
It went off. It was wild. It was wild. It's called The Wild, and it was wild.
It was wild.
I mean, it was just... There were some parts where the tension, where you kind of... It hadn't been mentioned for a while. You kind of forgot. You were lost in the story. And some of the tension was actually good. But then it was sort of like something would be said and you would be stripped right back into reality, and you'd be like, oh yeah.
Do you know what? Like, there was some points where the tension wasn't even between them. There was like this guy that was trying to help him, and the guy, they ended up in this lake and they were fucking each other in front of this guy. And the guy was like,
that's the guy that they bought the land off.
Yeah.
The dad bought the land off.
The guy's like, I mean, you're father and daughter, and this is just weird.
But then he accepts it and ends up getting with the sister from over yonder.
Yeah.
In the cabin over yonder. Yeah, there was like a little side plot with like, and I actually think they referred to them in the book as inbreds, and I actually have a note that says lol the irony. A group of like inbreds that are really nasty and come and kind of like violate her, and it's just really awful. The scenes are horrific. Like, honestly, I mean, this book was
horrible.
The more I talk about it, and the more I remember, it's insane.
Like, the more I'm thinking about this book, the lower the rating is going from what I've already given it, because at the time, I don't know if I was in a place where I was kind of like, oh, well, that bit was good. Oh, okay, well, let's brush over the fact that this just happened, and then this bit was, you know, and then, oh, okay, they've done loads of spicy things now, and actually I'm a little bit more comfortable with the whole idea of, you know, the end.
Yeah.
But the build-up was actually fucking terrible.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. So the end of it, I'm not gonna spoil it, but it was like this whole big secret, and I really, really wish that he'd just told her from the beginning. There was no reason at the point where the mum had died and that came tumbling down. He should have just laid it all out in line, because they were in a situation where, like, I don't know if we're going to live or die or not. He should have told her.
Yeah.
Right, let's just move straight into ratings, shall we? Okay, what did you give it stars?
I'm going to give it a 3.
What did you initially put?
3.5.
So I also initially put 3.5, but now that we're talking about it, I am also swaying more towards a 3. So 3 to 3.5 for us both. Chili peppers?
The chilies! I gave it a 4.
I also gave it a 4.
Because it was fucking relentless. After said crash into the cliff, or wherever they were, and then after they had that little tension-filled situation in the tent, they were at it all the time.
Just went off.
Yeah, like rabbits. She was on it. She was literally on him. And the thing was, I even wrote this down, that she was on him more than him on her. Yeah. Like, in these situations, you'd be like, oh, it was all this, the guy's in the wrong and all that. She fucking went for it. She was not letting that go.
Yeah, big time. She really, really pursued him.
She really
Absolutely.
pursued daddy.
Okay, so this one is You Take My Dad, I'll Take Yours. It is only 120 pages. It is super duper short. And let me tell you, it's very forgettable.
That's excellent. I went into this with really high expectations.
Me
So
too.
one thing that I will say about this week is that we've had 3 books that have had the same guy on the cover.
Yeah,
I can't remember what his name is.
don't remember either.
No. But when I saw the cover, obviously I was thinking, this is going to be good.
It's got him on the cover.
If he's on the cover, I'm going to want to read it and I'm going to be very involved. And let me tell you, I was not.
Nope.
Not even in the slightest.
Nope. So some of the tropes are, it's stepmother's dad, age gap, obviously, total smut, insta love, daddy kink, he's a daddy dom, sort of. I mean, there just wasn't really much to go on, to be honest. I think that was me kind of clutching at straws to find things about it. So the best thing about it was the whole, like, the fact that it was her stepmother's dad, because her stepmother was the same age as her.
Same age, yeah. Do you know what really irritated me was when they made friends?
Oh yeah, that really
was
pissed me
shit.
off. I would have liked it so much more if she just remained a bitch.
Yeah. Remain not friends, and you've both got your men, and then just stick with that.
So that's why it's called You Take My Dad, I'll Take Yours, because basically this girl that she knew in school years ago has, obviously same age as her, maybe like a year older, has married her dad. So she goes to the wedding for her dad and her new stepmother, bumps into this guy who's older than her. He kind of turned up late. So obviously she didn't really make the connection that he would be a parent because he wasn't actually at the ceremony. Yeah. So he turned up late to the reception. He walks in, they kind of connect, they click, they end up getting it on. They have a spicy night together. And then I think they're having dinner one night at the dad's house, her dad's house, aren't they? And then her dad turns up for dinner. So it's going to be the 4 of them. And then he walks in, doesn't he? Yeah. And she's like, fuck, holy shit. And I really thought we were going to be in a situation where they were going to keep it a secret. You know, sort of like Mountain Daddy situation. Yeah. And they didn't. They just revealed it all straight off the bat. Now, again, it is only 120 pages. So, you know, you've only got so much wiggle room to eke things out. But it was just like immediate there and then. Like her dad knew sort of immediately that they had previously met. And he instantly knew that there was something between them. They didn't try and hide it. And he was just like, well, all right with it. Not that he couldn't be, given his situation. But he was just like, well, all right with it. And I was like, right, so none of these plot lines are actually going anywhere.
There was genuinely about 4 scenes in this whole book. That was it. 4 fucking
there
scenes.
Actually was.
So there was the wedding to begin with. Then there was the dad's house. Then there was them 2 together. And then there was her and the girl meeting up. That's literally, that's all that happened. The last scene I fucking hated anyway, because them 2 being friends again was just boring as shit.
Yeah. So
that was it.
Her and her stepmom hated each other. Yeah. Like stepmom was a total bitch, like cliche stepmother, like total bitch, obviously same age as her, and then she's mean to her when they're at dinner, and then both of the dads sort of like stick up for her, the female main character, whose name we actually don't know.
I think
because neither of us.
It's either Mira or Mina.
Do you know the male?
Carter,
that was it. Yeah. So Carter and her own dad stick up for her, tell the stepmother off, like, stop being a bitch, blah, blah, blah. And then, eventually she comes running and meets her in a coffee shop one day and apologizes to her, like, over
I've just been jealous of you the whole time. That's why I've been so horrible. And I was kind of like, who gives a fuck? Like, just hate each other. Hate each other because it's more fun.
Yeah. It just... all of the plot lines just seem to sort of go, it's going this way, it's going this way, it's going this way, and then it just stopped.
Yeah.
And then that's where the plot line ended. You know, it was like, oh my god, they've met each other again, and she's realized that he is her stepmom's dad. Oh my god, it's gonna be like a big secret, and they're gonna run around after each other, and it's gonna be really tension filled. Stops. Everybody knows. Dad accepts it. Right.
Boring.
Her and stepmom hate each other. Stepmom says something nasty in front of everyone, then she comes running back apologizing, so then that plot line stops. It was just
Do you know what? Like, we've read a lot of books that have been like 100 pages, 120 pages, 150 pages, where fucking shitloads have happened. And for that to just have those little tiny things happen, like that wedding scene went on for too long.
Yeah, way too long, yeah.
Could shut something else in there.
Oh, there was so many parts in that wedding that didn't need to happen.
It wasn't. I'm not gonna lie, it wasn't great. But you might really enjoy it. Like maybe we are wrong here.
It was a very quick read.
I don't think we are.
No,
but well, we're not.
It was a very quick read. And in my notes, we've got a section that says, recommend yes or no. And I've put maybe, because I don't want to say no, because it might be for you. I mean, it's so short and it's so quick. It's sort of like, sure, if you think it might be for you, give it a try. It's only 120 pages.
120 pages is nothing, especially if you're a quick reader as well.
Yeah.
You can kind of smash it out and see if it's up to you. Like, the reviews aren't bad on Goodreads, but we just didn't have time for this.
No.
And even though it's 120 pages, I still didn't have time for it. I was like, this is such a waste of an hour of my life that I will never see again.
Yep. Okay, so should we do ratings?
Yeah.
Let's do stars. What did you give it?
2.5.
I gave it 3. What did you give it? Chili peppers?
The chilies! I gave it a 3, but I might sway towards a 2.5 because I swear they only did it like twice.
So I actually wrote 3 and then scribbled it out and put 4.
Oh, did you?
So I'm not going to lie. I genuinely think that because we don't remember it, I don't feel like I can rate Chili Peppers adequately. All right, let's get this shit wrapped up. So, all in all, this Daddy theme has not been overly great. Like, Mountain Daddy was definitely the best book by far for us during this theme. It's a very short theme compared to others. Like I said, because we kind of just lost track of what we were doing, to be honest. We really should have added more Daddy books in, especially when we realised that we didn't enjoy half of them.
Yeah, I agree.
However, things just sort of progressed and we were sort of in this state of like, I don't know what the fuck is going on. So, especially compared to the last Daddy theme that we did, that slapped, so hard. We had such a good time.
We did look at all these books that have gone in on this week. We looked at them and we were like, that is a bit of us. That Taboo one, that could have slapped very fucking hard.
Yeah.
I mean, Mountain Daddy, obviously we loved it. Domination, by the sounds of all the kinks and everything like that, I was like, that's a bit of me. And it's a granddad. I was like, that could be a laugh.
Yeah.
Obviously, it just went a bit too far. And then Take My Daddy Died, Take Yours. Just from the fucking name, I'd be like, yes.
Yeah. I think we were just unlucky that they just all felt, not all of them, but that just some of them just fell a bit flat. I think we were just unlucky. And it happens, It does. Hopefully the next Daddy theme, we will actually really properly do some good old research and make it a good one next time.
We promise.
But if you're going to take one book from this podcast, I would say read Mountain Daddy for sure. If you fancy a laugh or, just a bit of like fun time, what the fuck, read Domination.
If you want spicy, fun time, you've got a glass of wine, go for Domination.
Domination, absolutely, 100%. Yeah. All right, so the next wrap-up theme is I haven't got a fucking clue.
Halloween, baby!
Oh, yeah, of course, yeah. Yeah, it's Halloween, duh. I've actually got Halloween socks on today. I've got, like, bright orange socks. Look, I actually think... When did I get these? I think I got these in a PR box from an author. I think maybe. I can't remember who I got these from.
Cute.
Yeah, last year. So, yeah, I'm already on theme. So, next 2 weeks we're reading Halloween books, plus also so much random shit in between, plus Alchemized. I still don't even know what's going on, to be honest.
I'm literally just about to finish it, and I'm not going to lie, I'm glad.
Yeah.
I've said it.
I'm having a really good time.
I know, you're having a whale of a time.
I can't stop. I genuinely can't stop thinking about it.
I feel like I've been reading this for 2 weeks, and it probably has been 2 weeks, to be fair, because it's probably been like 100 pages a day-ish, something like that.
Yeah.
That I'm at the point now where I'm kind of like, I'm just ready for you to not be in my life anymore.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's wrap up this week. I can't believe we've actually got to the end of this and still have some of our 15% drink left. Are we slurring our words? I don't know. I don't think we are. Yeah, knock it back. We just said when we first started this, we were drinking it and we were like, I feel like one of those men that like drink whiskey.
It's giving whiskey vibes though, isn't it? Especially with the amount that we've got left. If it was a little bit more brown, people would be like... Oh my God.
You know when they like just down it in one go? I couldn't even down that in one go, and that's not neat alcohol.
I don't know why I did that.
No, me neither.
No.
All right, I think that's it. See you all soon. Cheers.
Cheers!